For this film in particular, like we wanted to try something a little bit different.
We're heightening stuff, cranking it up.
Just trying to break the boundaries.
I really just want the emotions to just pop off the screen.
Domi really wanted something punchy and kind of full of energy from the animation.
Domi took us aside and says, I want you guys to be about the style. Like, you gotta push on this style.
She really wanted us to push how snappy the animation could be. So when a character's hitting a pose, really popping into that pose.
Much more like staccato. You hit a pose and you just stay in it. And you might just have the character's face moving, but everything else is completely frozen.
The humor comes from just a person completely still and only the eyes just moving back and forth. That has its own appeal.
Domi has a quirky sensibility.
We accept and embrace all labels!
I accept and embrace all labels.
Things that are surprising, that go beyond what you expect to see.
Anime's been one of my biggest influences artistically. Me and Rona are huge fans of anime, and we grew up falling in love with Sailor Moon, Ranma Half, of course, all of Miyazaki's films. There's this freeness to how characters express themselves. They'll just go crazy with the eyes and the mouth and just really make you feel what the character is feeling.
A lot of us were brought up studying Disney animation. In Disney or Western form of animation, there's a lot of emphasis on arcs and smooth movement and slow in, slow out, and nothing that's snappy. But now, like on this movie, it's like, no, forget about all your training about like what Disney taught you and really leaned into the anime style.
One thing that we did early on when we were developing the characters is trying to get a lot of that graphic nature from anime movies. And we ended up adding these face lines to the characters to help push the expressions even further.
Domi was all about like, no, let's shrink the pupils if it's for a comedy's sake, or let's make them big and have stuff moving around in their eyes. It's really about capturing the feeling and less about is it on character or is it on pose.
In a lot of anime, like the backgrounds will have these action lines. I did this test where I did these action lines. I made them really skinny and I just like strobed them in the background. I was like, hey, look, this is something we can maybe try.
Domi described Mei as someone who was very confident and she knew who she was. So the way that we animated Mei moving around was always with her chest puffed out and very confident kind of attitude.
She's awkward and dorky, but she is proud of it.
All about that hustle, am I right?
Domi also wanted to bring that awkwardness of the early teenage years. And so anytime Mei would dance around, we would always try to bring out that awkwardness and those awkward moves. She thinks she's a really good dancer, but she's not.
When Mei is with Ming, she's an angel. She mimics the motions of her mom. They're praying at a temple and they're literally bowing, and the timing is exactly the same, and that was very intentional, just to show that they were unified and that they were on the same page. But then when she meets her friends, it becomes a lot looser and messier. There's that teenage energy, and we wanted to make it feel rough and tumble and messy.
It's mostly about seeing things through their eyes, putting yourself in those shoes, thinking about all the external forces that are coming at them, everything they're dealing with. I think in a lot of ways, my brain never left being a 13-year-old girl, and I remember how I felt when I was with my group of girlfriends.
I kind of had forgotten about this until I was looking through old pictures of me and my friends, and I was like, oh my God, we're always like touching and clinging on to each other. We're very open with each other.
We were able to discover a lot of mannerisms that we used in the film, like they're often touching each other because they're so close and it's their security blanket. They use each other for comfort.
Some things that might not seem a big deal, to them, it's like the most important thing in the world.
What the heck is Toledo?
Oh no.
What?
4 towns the same night as the ritual?
No!
And just like teenager kind of gestures and eye rolls.
Hey, every day is cleaning day.
That was very cool to kind of get that specificity into our shots.
We viewed them as one tight unit.
For example, when the 3 friends, and Abby, Priya, and Miriam first see Panda Mei for the first time, they all scream at the same time.
You don't typically see that in Pixar films. You would get the note that like, oh, all those characters are hitting the same pose or they're all hitting it on the same frame. But here it was an intentional choice.
And then at the same time, each girl has her own personality. Priya, she's kind of a deadpan character. I wanted to make sure that her eyes were always half lidded, and even if she was surprised that they would never go full circle. Abby, she's such an angry, loud, explosive character. Even when she's like catcalling some of the boys, that her eyebrows would be angry and she'd be kind of aggressive about it, like, nice calves.
Nice calves. She looks angry, but she's not. She's just passionate.
You're so fluffy! You're so fluffy!
Miriam, she's like kind of a tomboy, slouched over. She also has a goofy specificity to her too.
Check out number 12. He's got delts for days.
Together, their energy just rises because they just feed off of each other.
Ready to get your karaoke on?
Totally. Bye, Mom. Bye, Dad.
Hold on.
Ming is like a kettle boiling inside, and she's trying to contain it as much as you can. But the fun part is, once in a while, she'll let out a little bit of steam.
Ming, it's your mother.
I'm not here. See? This is what happens when you don't wear sunblock and do drugs all day.
She could still be a loving mother, but have a little bit of an edge to her.
The farther you go, the prouder I'll be.
I animated the scene where May is trying to sell her on letting her go to the concert, and then Ming is just like, no, absolutely not.
You'll get whipped up into a frenzy and panda all over the place.
And she kind of makes this face.
Look at those glittery delinquents with their gyrations.
My mom, she does that like, that disgusted shudder a lot. I really enjoyed animating Ming. Yeah. And not because I got to put little bits of my mother in it.
Oh, my porridge.
Jin!
The panda is, first of all, she's extra tall. She's a giant red panda. And so it was fun to play with her and how she could fit or usually not fit into spaces. The first scene where she turns into a panda and she runs through the city, it was fun to play with how does it feel to all of a sudden be giant and don't know how to carry your weight. The panda's ears can emote a lot. It's similar to a dog where, if they're scared or if they're angry, the ears might fold down. And if they're excited, they might perk up. And it was just a nice little detail to add to any performance.
Tail was a big one, part of who she is, so we had to move that over to the side and remind people that, yes, she has a big tail and she's a panda.
I've always wanted a tail.
We had claws in and out. Sometimes you want it to be cute, so it's like little mitten hands. Sometimes you want it to be ferocious, so you take the nails and you make them scale big, so you really get that ferociousness to it.
You can get a claw to really kind of accentuate what those hand poses are.
We kept having to remind ourselves that in there is a 13-year-old girl who's still awkward.
I know it was like a big giant red panda, but it really was about trying to find May inside there, that it's still May, it's still a girl. We still tried to hit tween girl poses, even though she's a big giant panda.
Domi's sensibilities for this film was a mixture of funny, clear, and cute.
When we first started coming up with the look of the movie, we wanted it to be cute. I feel like it's very disarming. It leaves you room to surprise people.
Cute started to take on a much more kind of complicated and intentional meaning as people started to really understand the why behind it. This world, May is the creator and the author of this world, and the world needs to work for her, and it's her story. It's such an impressive and interesting approach for a director to take.
Cute is definitely not easy to get. It has to be really, really appealing. It has to suit the character.
We're animating cute, sassy girls. We have a director that understands that extremely well. And because of that, she got that out of all of us, even, grown men that have never been 13-year-old girls. I thought it was awesome.
This is super cute when they all react to where Mr. Lee's cooking. Could they all kind of light up even more? I love working with the animators. They are performing and acting out these shots in their houses in front of their mirrors, or they're recording themselves. They are literally putting so much of themselves into these shots.
It was really great to see animators grow and push into new directions and develop new muscles.
We're gonna look back at this and think like, oh, how cool of an experience this was.
Perhaps we should talk about why this is happening.
I'm Domi Shi, and I am the director of Turning Red. Making an animated film takes a village, and we're gonna just step through how many people and how much work goes into just 7 shots.
It's a very complicated process. We have a lot of ideas spinning around.
One of the first things we'll do is we'll just break the script down, and we'll break it down into multiple scenes so that we can just figure out what we need to do one step at a time. We do not necessarily make the film in order. These shots that we're looking at are some of the first shots that we had go into production.
Red Peony, which is what we call the scene, was the perfect scene to put into production first. It's 2 characters, it's inside, so it felt like super straightforward as a scene to go into production. And of course, it turned out to be a super complicated scene. Once we get in the shots, we're like, oh geez, this is gonna take a minute.
The 7 shots that you're looking at have all been touched by every department in the studio and multiple times.
You'll see that each department is studying what goes into each of these shots and bringing their own perspective and their own storytelling.
These shots are a collection of thousands of decisions.
Yeah, on average, I am probably making 100 decisions a day.
So in regards to Domi's day-to-day, it's mostly like a jigsaw puzzle. Her calendar is a beast of a puzzle. I think she had 120 different meetings just on this one scene. She gives notes on the shot and it goes to the next department and it goes back to edit, and we kind of like cycle through until it gets perfect.
Perhaps we should talk about why this is happening.
The sequence that we're looking at is where May turns into a red panda for the first time and is trying to hide that from her mom.
We just wanted to approach this with the idea of what's the most entertaining, funny, truthful way we could show this girl going through this huge change.
And we all thought back to when we first got our period and how that was just a super awkward, scary, confusing moment.
This isn't happening. This isn't happening.
We just wanted it to be about the misunderstanding that Ming thinks that, oh no, the big day has arrived and my little girl has turned into a woman.
Did the red peony bloom?
No!
Neither character actually knows really what's going on. And so the fun of this scene was just balancing that tension of, will one find out the other's truth?
Typically, like, as a story artist, you're thinking about, how am I going to choreograph this scene? Like, where do I put my actors or my characters to best present it visually?
I always had this image in my head of this shower in the middle, giant panda May on one side, Ming on the other.
So there was this moving in of Ming towards May that created this tension, not only the tension of having this discussion, but also the tension of May being exposed as a red panda.
There were 64 versions of the sequence script for The Red Peony generated over the course of the movie. We tried out a version of the movie where Ming was allergic to May when she turned into the red panda.
It's going to be okay.
We did sort of change dialogue a little bit here and there, but not much. A lot of times we went back to the original dialogue.
So once the director and her story team have decided, which characters are in the story, which environments, sets are in the film, then the art team can come in and start designing and fleshing out what everything looks like.
Animation, you get nothing for free is a true statement.
So you get nothing for free because everything has to be designed and made.
Usually to make something look rich or lived in, you would see a lot of items in a household kind of scattered or strewn about, and that gives the environment a lived-in history.
We were asked to create a style, a look, which had a sense of curated clutter.
There's shampoo in the shower, there's lotions, and there's toothpaste, and so we had to fill all of those shelves.
We were watching the animated scene, and my daughter kind of came in to ask me a question, so she kind of peeked over my shoulder and was watching the scene, and she starts laughing, and then all of a sudden she gets this horrified look on her face, and she just looks at me and she goes, "That is a lot of pads."
But I have to say, it's the highlight of my career, honestly. Doing that box was just so much fun.
It is not the first bathroom, but it's probably the first time I have dressed period products in a set. That was a new one. And about time, too.
We did sculptures of the 2 characters involved, Ming and May Panda.
The most important thing we're trying to hit is that the personality of the character comes through, and it's what the director was picturing.
So I worked on Panda May, and then I also worked on Ming. It is not just making a pretty drawing, you're trying to tell a story with the expression, so that was a really fun part. And then working on the facial expression is actually working with the storyboard artist, because we are heavily inspired by storyboard artist Boris.
I had this image in my head of Ming. I really just wanted to create this iconic, strong, a little terrifying Asian woman. So like I think physically, I was like, yeah, like she has to like exude this charisma.
She was really a character who from head to toe had to be elegant and poised. Everything from the lines of her face, through her body, her hands, her fingers, everything had to be tapered and elegant and just so.
I did the shading and painting work for Ming, so I did her skin, her blush, her clothes, her dress, and her apron. Well, Ming is really the anchor, and she's supposed to be put together and really refined. She's the contrast in these scenes to May, who's kind of falling apart.
Stop talking!
I really wanted Panda May to feel larger than life. We took several liberties with her design because real red pandas are quite small and cute.
Yeah, we went to the San Francisco Zoo to study red pandas in the wild, and we got to get pretty close to them.
Oh my goodness, you are so sweet.
They're kind of like very large squirrels almost. Our pandas, in contrast, are drastically overfed.
I just wanted to like take that cuteness and multiply it by 1,000.
More cuteness than has ever been in any character on film previously. When someone asks me, what did you do on the film? The easy answer is, oh, well, I built May Panda. But the truth is there's multiple people who get to say that. I modeled and rigged it, but then somebody did the groom.
Yeah, shading and grooming is basically growing and placing hair and making it look messy and furry and hairy, and shading is basically putting color and lighting response on that hair.
We wanted her to feel like she's a cute but really messy monster. One of the animals that we looked at for inspiration was the alpacas, because their fur was kind of clumpy and matted, but it was still reading as very soft and very adorable.
We wanted her to kind of feel a little more, not necessarily disheveled or dirty, but like, you know, a teen growing up.
You're so fluffy! You're so fluffy!
The length of the hair is very important, and I think we started with something that was shorter and smoother and just gonna be more refined, and the more we messed it up and the more that we ended up seeing her friends hug her and grab her and squeeze her and play with her, the more we realized, oh yeah, we do need it longer. There's a point when you're like, this groom looks awesome. I think this is gonna tell the story. And then, you know, you keep working on it. You're usually just making it more and more better, and I know I said more and more better, but hey.
So once the storyboards have locked and we can consider the assets, meaning characters and sets, to be layout ready, then our layout artist, Sylvia Wong, takes the sequence and splits it out into shots.
Layout is the first step in the production pipeline, and our responsibility is to figure out how to cinematically translate the hand-drawn storyboards into the CG world.
Mom, please!
One thing we discovered was that Panda, we could barely squeeze her into the bathtub. So we opted to scale her down for the shots when she's actually in the bathtub and behind the shower curtain.
And once we're through layout reviews, it moves on to animation.
So for this particular shot of Ming, I definitely shot a lot of reference of myself acting out the moments.
Is starting to change. It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
And I'm really just trying to get into the skin of the character a little bit, to get in the mindset of what they're feeling. So when I am animating, it's like really intuitive for me.
And your body is starting to change.
So as animators, we make the characters move. And this work can get as small as working on the blinks and how a character blinks. With these shots specifically, it was how May is kind of shaking and trembling in fear. We have drawovers done by an artist, Tom Gately, and he really helps us get our characters into the most appealing shapes that we can.
It comes down to the spacing of the eyes and where the mouth is placed in relation to the nose, all those little micro relationships. It's an intuitive thing we're searching for, but it basically comes down to, is a character pleasing to look at?
In the simulation department, we're in charge of putting the hair and the clothing on the character. So we make the clothing, and then we make that character believable by making the hair and clothing move in all the shots. We also are responsible for making the world come alive. So if there's curtains, we make that move too.
I animated this hand, and it's more about the curtain slowly coming across.
Just that detail of how much she's gonna peek around is so important to the story.
And so getting the timing down and have it behave like, plastic shower curtain material was a bit challenging. Yeah, we don't like shower curtains.
So it's easy to think of our process as sequential, from story all the way to final rendering. But the reality is, some shots multiple departments might be in at the same time. So for example, while simulation is working, lighting has probably already started.
In the scene, you really see two main sources of light. There's a window on the one side and then the fluorescent light fixture on top of the sink. However, in reality, I think there were between 30 to 40 different lights that we used to create the fresh, lifted feel inside of the bathroom.
So one really surprising thing that we learned in this scene is how to deal with the vegetation. You might not think that it's a big deal right now because it's just, a little bit of green that you can see outside of the window, but that actually became a massive project in terms of how are we going to shade and light the vegetation throughout the film.
Once the shot is approved in lighting, it's off to the render farm.
So rendering is a very technical process which involves converting the 3D data into 2D images, complete with lighting, shading, textures, just putting everything together in a flat image. There's plenty of bad renders, and a lot of them are pretty funny.
Perhaps we should talk about why this is happening.
So something specific in this shot is that animation wanted a really clean read of Ming's silhouette, but we're actually getting a little bit of her reflection in the mirror, which was messing up that silhouette. So what I had to do here, kind of around her neck, I had to essentially remove her from the reflection just for this specific pose. We're literally doing smoke and mirrors here.
Rendering is making sure that you have enough resources to get the film done. The very first renders we had of May, the panda, were about 300 hours a frame. And our target for final render times is 55 hours a frame. The first sequences are the roughest because you're trying to figure out what those problems are and tackle them.
There always has to be room for discovery as you're going, right? You have a goal, you have an idea that you're going for, but then you have to leave yourself some room to discover happy accidents or to learn really what's working for you.
This was where Do-Mi saw our first lit images, and whether it was the distinction between how we treated the characters versus the set, or even little details like how we treated the eyes in the anime eye highlights. This was where the discovery process happened, that then we, laid out for the rest of the film.
Once you bring more people on board to kind of help you bring the story to life, it just gets so much better and so much funnier and so much more beautiful than you could have ever done by yourself.
Probably the best part of the filmmaking process for me is the first time you actually get to watch something close to the finished version of a shot up on a big screen. And it's that feeling of like, oh my gosh, it's real. And if you can sit there and just be laughing at the performance or moved in the moment, it's like the best.
You know what's up. We all know that boy bands are not born, they are made. And so for Turning Red, which features the best boy band ever,
we had to construct our very own boy band from the ground up.
And just in case you want to build your very own, we are revealing all our secrets
in 10 easy steps.
Step 1, you need to do your research. And by research, you need to listen to a lot of boy bands. My name is Rachel Bigelow, and I am one of the music editors on Turning Red.
A music editor at Pixar works with the director to establish the musical language. We create a roadmap that will help influence the composer for the final music of the film.
Believe it or not, listening to lots and lots of music is my job.
Number 2, create your ideal boy band members and give them awesome names and incredible backstories. I'm Julia Cho, and I'm the writer for Turning Red. Looking at all the boy bands, it became clear that there was a kind of template. So there's always the leader, the pretty one, the cute one, the old one, or the older one who's like 20 instead of 16. A lot of the fun of the boy band was making sure that it reflected the kind of boy band we would want, which is super diverse, the boys all having different backgrounds, inclusive of all races, and it gave me a lot of pride to have an Asian American member of Four Town as well. And when you're making your boy band, you can feel free to make that boy band be the kind of band that you would want to see in the world.
Number 3, design your own dreamy band members. What do they look like? Do they wear jewelry? Do they have piercings? Do they paint their nails? And what outfits would they wear based on their personality? My name's Rona Liu, and I'm the production designer on Turning Red. Designing Four Town was very special and very fun. The direction that we got from Domi was to really think back on the boy bands that we grew up with in the 90s and early 2000s that were really gonna excite a 13-year-old like May.
Number 4, boy band fans. For us, it was really important to show fan culture in a way that did not make fun of it.
To show how excited that the girls are about Four Town, we decided to have a music video contest as part of the story. I am Bill Pressing, and I am the head of story for Turning Red.
We came at it with, this is a totally valid thing to do, you know, that these girls, their lives are Four Town. And I think we wanted to just treat that as honestly as we could, and also have a lot of fun with just showing the utter joy and euphoria that kind of passion can give a girl or a woman. So even though the video itself got cut, ultimately it kind of taught us that their passion for Four Town brings them together. These girls love Four Town because they love each other so much.
5, your band needs a ton of graphics. My name is Laura Meyer, and I am the graphics art director on Turning Red. Behind every real-life boy band is a great PR machine. That means posters and CDs and magazine covers. And we needed a logo. And we needed lots of variations of that logo so that we're putting it on everything. And doing that stuff was really fun to work on.
6, you need bops. You need sticky songs that just get stuck in your head over and over again. It felt right to get Billy and Phineas on board with writing songs for the movie. Not too long ago, they were those same obsessed teens, and it just felt like the experts to speak to what it was like to be a teen girl.
It's music that I grew up listening to and loved, and it's very specific, and it was really, really fun to just like play around in that world and write these like characters, which is something we've done forever.
The greatest of the boy band music of the early 2000s. It's really about simplicity and like memorability.
Yeah.
It's the most kind of like that phrase 10 times and a really catchy melody and harmonies and claps and choreography, and it's so infectious and appealing. It was such a fun assignment challenge to produce songs in the style of that early 2000s. Like there's like record scratches and chimes and stuff, and like stuff that you know, we don't often have an excuse to dabble in. You get to like you get to really go for it. It was such a treat.
Number 7, you need to record some songs, like for real, with real people. You basically have 3 kinds of songs. You need your love ballad.
I drove by your house 29 times today.
One that you can sing with all your friends.
You're never not on my mind. Oh my, oh my. I'm never not by your side. Your side, your side. I'm never gonna let you go.
And then you need the number 1 dance hit. Getting to actually be there when Four Town came together for the first time to record these songs was pretty amazing.
It was really cool to just go to the studio and have all the boys
in the booths
all separate, and Phineas was in there, and hearing them all sing these songs we wrote, and you know, hearing lines that I wrote and melodies, and you know, being like, hey, can you sing this part like this? And they'd always be like, oh, hi Billy. It was very cute. It was very, very cute. And You know, watching him produce was just very exciting because he just looked so free.
1, 2, 3, and 1. I never met nobody.
We all went back to our 13-year-old selves and were like, oh my gosh.
And all the guys brought different strengths to the table, just like any boy band.
Which one of you is an amazing beatboxer? I was hearing it earlier.
There were guys that had these beautiful like falsettos, and there was an incredible beatboxer.
And they were all amazing singers, and then to hear them all come together and kind of bring these songs that we had heard in demo form to life was insane. It was so much fun.
Number 8. Create a music video for your favorite song. There's another Four Town song called One True Love, and I was really inspired to make a music video for it. In the film, Tyler is a fan of Aaron Z, which is why he wears the headband and he has a Band-Aid on his face. And we used to have the scene where we see his room and we see that he's like this Aaron Z fan. I always loved that scene, and we had to lose that scene from the film, but it is one of the things that inspired the music video. Number 9.
For an epic stadium show, you need amazing lighting. I'm Mitch Kopelman, and I'm a lighting lead. There's about 1,000 lights in the stadium setup. Trying to make it sort of dreamy and romantic. This is May's opportunity to see her superstar. The base of the cages were lights themselves. There are huge screens behind the characters, and those provide a great source of these rim lights that come from behind, kind of cutting out the characters from the chaos that's all behind them. We let all the animated stage lights do their thing, create energy, and suddenly you have a concert.
Number 10, your boys gotta have the moves. My name is Maman LeBeau, and I am a dance teacher, choreographer, entertainer, all of the above.
I'm Teresa Falcone, and I'm an animator. So tell me how you got involved in Turning Red.
Domi, she needed some dance moves, and I went back to the Backstreet Boys, the NSYNC, the 98 Degree vibes, and mashed them all together. The signature Four Town move is one of my favorites I've been doing my whole life. And every time I'm like feeling some type of vibe, whether it's happy, sad, or whatever, I just shake it off and I just go. Chase it, go. Hey. Slow it down. One of their main star qualities for a boy band is dancing.
What do you love about your job?
I love seeing people dancing. Random people, they don't have to be professionals. They do not have to be perfect. I just love seeing people dancing and moving. I love that vibe. 4-2!
And there you have it. Easy peasy. So get out there and create your own boy band. Have fun and let your imagination fly.
What you're about to see is a collection of some of my favorite deleted scenes, and they range from storyboards to fully animated scenes. The first thing you'll notice is that Ming is calling May Faye, or Fei Fei, and that was initially her name before we changed it to May. Making an animated film is a long and intense, iterative process, and you might think that, oh, I have the story in my head from the very beginning, I just have to put it up on the big screen. That's not the case. The scenes work by themselves, but when you put them and watch it with the rest of the movie, we realize it didn't quite fit with the bigger story we were trying to tell, and that's why we had to cut them. The scene is called Intro Meilin. When we first came up with the idea for how do we introduce these two characters, May and Ming, this kind of popped into my mind because it shows, one, that Ming is this in charge, scary, but fierce and amazing woman, and that May is totally enamored with her mom and sees her mom like a goddess. And that's kind of the main heart of the movie. We realize that, oh, like it's taking a long time for May to turn into a panda. And the movie played perfectly fine without it, and that's when you know you probably don't need the scene.
Thank you for making a warm holiday memory at Miracle Mart. Say Miracle Mart, where miracles start.
Miracle Mart, where miracles start.
Photos will be ready in about 3 days.
I think I blinked.
Sorry, no redos.
But-
Next. What is this? Ming Lee and daughter
We waited 2 hours, 27 minutes for this. Do you think that's reasonable? Why are you so understaffed? Hasn't Miracle Mart heard of seasonal hiring?
Please help yourself to a festive accessory.
No! Thank you. We have our own vision for this.
All right.
Now, lift the tray towards Mommy. Firm arms, square shoulders, just like we practiced. How do I look, Maymay?
So beautiful, Mama. How do I look?
Perfect.
Say Miracle Mart, where miracles.
We're not doing that.
The name of the scene is called Taming the Panda. The reason why I love this scene so much is it really showcases the classic Asian parent and Asian kid dynamic, which I really wanted to kind of show in this movie. So this scene is kind of like her mom kind of teaching her the ropes of how to control her panda, because her mom had it too, and her mom was able to suppress her emotions and stay human, and she's trying to impart that wisdom to her daughter. By itself, it's like a really fun scene, but it kind of dragged the story on a little bit, and it just felt like a lot of Ming beating down on May for a long time, and it didn't feel good to watch for such a long time. So it was just another thing that we saw in context, and we just realized we had to cut.
Strong body, strong mind, Fei-Fei. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Controlling the panda is about staying calm. 2, 3, 4. Stir the porridge. That's it. Stir the porridge. We can't have anything that could trigger you. No TV, no friends. What? But friends are a distraction, Fei-Fei. This is a family matter. Smoother, like me, look. Guide your hips in a figure 8. That's it, Fei-Fei. Wonderful.
Breakfast.
Oh my gosh, I'm starving!
Sorry. Let's try it again. To maintain discipline, diet is key. No more sugary carbs, greasy foods, or fiery flavors. This will soothe you. Polygonum root, dongui root, ginseng, and spinach. Fei-Fei. 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 How's the water temperature? Mom! Fei-Fei. All right, here it is. The most powerful weapon against your emotions. Your mind. Remember, you are not your feelings.
I am not my feelings.
Think of what gives you the greatest happiness and then use that to create an oasis of peace and calm. Excellent, Fei-Fei. Keep going.
Milady.
I'm sorry. Why is this so hard? I thought you were disciplined. I don't know. My panda wasn't anything like this. Yours is a raging wild beast. I'm sorry, okay? I can't do this. I'm just a stupid, ugly freak, and I'm never gonna be normal again. Never! Fei-Fei, leave me alone!
Maybe you should let her be.
What is wrong with her? Why is she so emotional?
Well, it took you a little while, too.
It's not her, it's the panda. It's not her, it's the panda. It's not her, it's...
The name of the scene is called The Debate. In this version of the story, May is trying to run for class president, and the panda kind of gets in the way of that. But then we realized the class president thread was kind of like a complicated extra little plot thread that we didn't really need. Eventually, the class president thread just went away, so that's why this scene was deleted.
You have everything? Breath mints, water bottle, speech? Yep. Wait, maybe I should walk you in. Silly restraining order. Are you sure you'll be okay?
Just call me the warden, because I'm going to keep it locked down. I mean, yes, I'm sure.
Good luck. And remember, if you feel your emotions rise, just think of you and me. It's your special place of peace and strength.
Ready, champ? Check it out. Cool as a cube. Can the panda come out later? Just a little bit? Abby, no. Get over it.
Good morning, Beavers. Let's give a big welcome to your class president candidates, May Lee and Tyler Nguyen Baker.
Yeah, May for president! Ready to get trounced upon?
In your dreams, Dorcas.
Each candidate will now give a statement. May, take it away.
Thank you, Principal Parsons. My fellow Beavers, we are on the precipice of change. As Gandhi once said...
Hey, y'all. Some of you might not know this, but May's been out with a wicked case of explosive diarrhea that started when she ripped one so hard in math that they actually had to cancel class.
That is a lie.
Uh-oh.
No more interruptions,
I was
Tyler.
home dealing with a family emergency, Tyler. What were you busy doing? Fucking bio?
Nice.
Oh, snap.
Stay cool, man.
Don't engage.
Don't play into his dirty little hands.
Newsflash, B- is not flunking. You stuck-up, goody-goody loser.
Okay, everyone, time out.
Who you calling a loser, Brace Face?
Collateral damage.
Mirror. I'm okay. Go, May. Keep going. Yeah, I care about my studies. You got a problem with that, you burnout?
Oh, you're such a nerd.
One, heck yeah I am. And two, so are you.
I'm not.
Half nerd, half fart.
Swing and a miss.
May, listen to my voice. Calm down.
Focus. We got you.
That's it. Breathe.
Oh, look, it's the Dork Squad.
Back off.
May, ignore him.
Stupid fangirls.
Okay, that concludes our debate. Everyone, please return to your home.
Psh, they're only like the lamest, most talentless band in the world.
Breathe.
Guys, it's okay. I'm okay. You can let go.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm not gonna hurt him. I'm gonna kill him! Hey, no!
So the name of the scene is called Faye and Christina Hang. I love the scene a lot because it just shows May hanging out with her super cool Aunt Christina. May's struggling with keeping her mom happy and keeping the panda in, and she's kind of confiding in Aunt Christina, who's kind of like the black sheep of the family. She felt like she was kind of doing what May's friends were already doing. She's a really cool character, but it was very painful to cut her.
They're gonna announce the results like any day now. I'm so excited.
I remember my first concert. It's gonna change your life.
I know, and there's no way I'm doing it without my besties. And now we're all going to different high schools next year. This is our last chance before everything changes. I can see it. The four of us, front row center. We'll lock eyes with our boys, and they'll know we are more than just fans. We are their destiny. 'Cause you have opened my eyes and stolen my heart.
Yeah, when we were kids, Ming and I were obsessed with David Bowie. One time we dyed our hair red and ruined every towel in the house. Your grandma almost killed us.
What? My mom?
Yeah, we used to be tight.
What happened?
I don't know. She was so perfect, and I was such a mess. But it's not natural to hold all your feelings in like that, you know?
But isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Mm-mm. Trust me, all that stuff's gonna come out sooner or later. You gotta be true to yourself. Do what you want.
Make your own moves.
Exactly. 24/7.
365.
Man, you remind me of myself. Faye, I'm gonna tell you what I wish I knew at your age. Set boundaries. When your mom's driving you crazy, tell her to back off.
I don't know if it's that easy.
All right, but what about the temple? Do you even want to be the keeper when you grow up?
Well, I have to. It's tradition, right?
You don't have to do anything, Faye. Your family is not your life. You choose who you want to be. Not Ming, not anybody.
This scene is called Four Town Dilemma. In this version of the movie, the temple, the house, everything is at risk of being taken away by the bank. Faye is under this immense pressure to be their new tourist attraction, but she wants to be like a fun party panda at school. So her conflict is, do I be one panda or another panda? Eventually we realize, oh, her dilemma should be more like, should I be human or should I be a magical panda girl?
Ooh, number 12. He's got delts for days.
I'm sure he's a very nice young man.
Faye, come on. It's no fun ogling by myself.
Look, I've only got one mission right now. Get into Santa Catarina by saving the temple. Nothing else matters.
Oh, okay. Then I guess you wouldn't be interested in this.
Tickets to Four Towns tonight?
Mm-hmm. Valor Seats.
How'd you get these? It's been sold out for weeks.
Divorced parents. Their guilt is my gain. Too bad it's not part of your mission.
Did I say that? It's totally my mission to boost my morale so I can be the happiest, holiest panda ever.
Does that mean you're in?
Is Baby I Love Your Jeans the second track on their third album? Of course I'm in!
Psh, you're so full of it. You really think your mom's gonna let her little show dog go to that concert?
Are you spying on us?
She'll flake on you. Count on it. She's way too mommy whipped.
Am not. I'm just doing this to get into SC. I'm the one whipping her.
Right. Anyway, that ticket could be worth a lot. You want me to scalp it?
Go polish your bracelets, you Wonder Woman reject. I'm going.
Yes!
What a jerk. I am so not my mom's show dog.
The permit from the mayor's office came through, and we now have 4 floats and the Spruce Valley Marching Band.
Ow! Mom, since things with the Moon Festival are going so well, I wonder if I could get a little me time tonight.
What did you have in mind?
Well, Miriam's having a sleepover.
No.
What? Why not?
You'll stay up all night and exhaust yourself. Between school and all the Red Panda gigs, you're overextended as it is. I'm sorry, Fei-Fei. How about we get in our pajamas, Watch a few episodes of the Jade Palace Diaries? I've got a chocolate cake in the freezer. I've been hiding it from your father. You know he can't have sugar.
Well, okay. I guess I'll chill at home tonight.
I'll start thawing it right now.
Chill at home tonight? What the heck am I saying? Help me, Senmu. I know I should be focusing on Santa Catarina right now, but this is Fort Town we're talking about. What should I do? Please, just send me a sign.
Oh, there you are. I'm sorry, Fei-Fei. We have to take a rain check. Terrible migraine only just hit me. I'm going to take some aspirin PM and go to bed. Night-night.
Okay, fine. I'm going to see Fort Town, Dad, and you can't stop me. It's not fair. I'm practically an adult, and everyone else is going, so why can't I? Please don't snitch on me.
I am not your mother. I'm not gonna tell you not to go, but going to concert, staying out late, these do not make you an adult. Being an adult is making your own choices and accepting whatever happens. Good night.
Yes, 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 yes.
The name of this scene is called Roping in Leo. And Leo was May's cousin who kind of shows up in her life out of the blue and stirs up her world. It was less about this female curse that was passed down from mother to daughter and more about how these two kids were just randomly chosen by the gods in this particular family to turn into magical red panda creatures and save their broken family.
Come on, please.
Stupid goody two-shoes.
What? I don't believe you! This whole time, you have been a Fort Town fan?
I love them, okay? They're the greatest pop artists of all time.
And a bleeping red panda? How the heck have you kept it a secret?
Calm down. The first time I turned, I was walking to school. I was taking the alleys, so no one saw. Then I remember something my mom used to do if I got upset. She'd hold my hand tight.
Pressure points.
Yep. So I found some scrap metal and threw it on and...
Whoa.
Here, you try.
It's a little tight. I think I'll just stick with tea. What is this place anyway?
Welcome to my kingdom. I come here to vent when life makes me angry. Here, you want to try?
No. I'm in trouble because of you. My mom saw you in the paper and thinks I was at the concert. You gotta tell her the truth.
No way. Forget it. I don't want anyone knowing about me, okay?
But why?
Look, everywhere it's always the same. What are you? Like I'm some kind of alien or something. Half Chinese, half whatever my dad was. So I don't need half magical red panda freak mucking things up even more. Got it?
So your mom, she doesn't know?
She's so busy already. Just don't tell anyone, please.
I won't. I promise.
Thanks.
But now what? How am I supposed to go big and get into SC with my mom on me 24/7?
I don't know, but maybe this will make you feel better. I still got Robert's cologne on me. Go on, take a whiff.
You so owe me. That was my ticket.
You weren't even gonna use it.
Hold the phone.
What? Too funky?
My life is my art. And my life is for town.
Which means?
Which means putting on Legends, the story of Fort Town. It's my ticket to Santa Catarina. I'm gonna put on the show of the century and blow the socks off the admissions officer. We'll open with street lights, looking for my baby tonight.
Street lights, driving fast, never felt so right.
Wait, do you wanna be in it?
What? No, shut up.
Yes, this is perfect. You already know all the songs.
No way. It'd be reputation suicide.
I can totally see it. Change the hair, the outfit, and you could be Aaron Z, or maybe Aaron R.
No, Mateo.
Leo, you are Mateo. Okay, for costumes, I'm thinking of their 99 West Coast tour.
The one where they look like dope astronauts?
Yeah.
Cool. How much fly space do you think we'll have?